up with the numbers of people I was looking at. And I said, if this is Angel, I says, this is Danny Fritz, please contact me.
You contacted me on Facebook. We were talking.
Right.
I thought you was an old school friend because I didn't even know you were my dad.
Right.
I didn't recognize the name. And then I was shocked. I didn't know what to think because here you are. I'm 35 years old and you're telling me you're my dad?
Mm-hmm.
What am I supposed to think?
Well, I'm here today to show you that I am your dad.
And I don't know how you got
and
my
from this
phone
point
number,
on,
but
I'm
you
going to do
called
anything
me.
at all that
And
you
I
want me to do to help you in your life and your children's life.
You say that, but
I think I've been showing you that, Angel.
no, you haven't.
All right, so Mr. Fritz, you see her and you find her. What has the relationship been?
My baby daughter's going out for cheerleading. I don't have enough money to get her a cheerleading outfit. I said, all right. She goes, I need $50. I said, let me call you back.
I didn't ask you for any
let me
money.
see. No, you didn't. You didn't
didn't
ask
ask
me
you.
for no money. I said, let me see what I can do. I said, I'll call you back. I talked to my wife. My wife said, look, that's your daughter, man. I said, all right, you're right. I sent her the $50 for the cheerleading outfit. When I did go to Thomasville and met my grandchildren, and I said, that must be the cheerleader. Angel bowed her head, and she goes,
I didn't
no.
know such. I didn't know such.
I'm not
didn't know
cheerleading
such.
yet. It's going to be a year. But, you know, I spent $50. I sent her to her to get a cheerleading
And if
outfit.
you would have
She
talked
didn't
to
get.
me about it and you would have had contact with me after that, I could have told you what happened.
I got a few.
Miss
That's a
Agee,
lie.
Miss Agee,
Yes, Your Honor.
if you do not believe he's your biological father,
Yes, Your Honor.
why are you so angry at him?
I'm angry because he says he is my dad. If he is my dad, why wasn't you there? I needed a dad when I was younger. I'm 35 years old now. I've lived my life. I'm living my kid. You know, I'm with my kids now. I'm living my life for my kids. And then he wants to pop up 35 years later and say,
There could be a
He can-
separate set of circumstances that were presented to him in his search. Or maybe there were ways that he could have searched harder or deeper. Regardless of that, it doesn't change the fact that he got on Facebook
and he
and
found me
tried
under a
to-
married name. I don't
and that's-
understand that.
It proves that he was still looking for you.
Right.
And then you stated in court, this man that you said found you, the one that you believe is your biological father, he then says to you, I'm gonna show up at your Christmas play, never showed.
Exactly, you're right. I've been hurt. I've been hurt by the guy that said he's
There
my dad.
we go.
I didn't have a mom in my life and I didn't have a dad. My grandmother raised me. She passed away when I was 16. I've been on my own ever since and I've made it in this world.
Are you just fearful to be hurt again? For another man to say, I'm your dad, you matter to me, and then the next thing you know, they're not there.
Exactly, you're right.
Okay.
That
I've
ain't
been hurt
gonna
enough
happen,
in my
man.
life and I don't want to be hurt
You ain't gonna be
anymore.
by yourself no more. I'm gonna tell you that. And I love you, and you know that, Angel. Since the first day I got back with you and found you, I told you I would never hurt you, and I love you. And I'll tell you what, the love I got in my heart never gonna go away, and you're never gonna be alone. I'm here to help you. I'm here to be your daddy.
But you're putting out there that I asked you for money. I didn't ask you for no money. I told you what was going on. And if you would have contacted me and asked me questions, I would have told you what went
But
on.
Miss Agee, you don't
did.
have to ask your father or a man that believes he's your father for the money. He heard you had a need, and
But then
his
he's making a big
belief
deal
that
about it.
he's
If he
your...
would've
I'm not making a
asked
big
me-
No,
deal
he
out of
wasn't
it.
making a big deal about it. What he was trying to show is, as much as I may have not been there for her, for whatever the circumstances, his point was just to say, I'm there. I was trying to give of myself. Mr. Fritz, your compassion towards Miss Agee it's remarkable, it's refreshing. And I have to say, whether you are or you are not her biological father, I can see that this relationship means everything to you.
It does, Your Honor.
Do you have any other children?
No, ma'am.
So the stakes, they're very high.
I really honestly do believe, and I gave us a lot of thought since I found you. I'm thinking that God knew I wasn't ready. God was there. God says, well, you know, you're still in this motorcycle club, and you're still doing this, that, and the other. There's no sense in God bringing you and me together because the only thing I'm going to do is hurt you. When I got out of the motorcycle club and I started getting more prayer in, God brought me to the Facebook page that found you.
Wow.
And it breaks my heart to see you over there.
I'm just mad. I'm hurt. I'm mad and I'm hurt.
You could
I
be
don't know
mad at
what
me all you want
believe.
to, and I want you to be. I want you to get it all out of your system because when it's gone, then it's going to be filled with love.
Exactly.
We're going to change that
Mr.
habit
Fritz,
to love.
you have to understand that there, of course, is a lot on the line for you because you want to know the answer. And yet it's different for Ms. Agee.
Yes, ma'am.
Because in your heart and your mind, you believe it and you know it for certain.
Absolutely.
In her mind and heart, she was told another man was her father. He let her down. She's got to put herself out there again. And there is a risk here for her that she's setting herself up to be let down
She
again,
won't be
to
let
be
down.
hurt again.
Exactly.
She won't be let down. I don't care what that piece of paper says. She's not going to be let down. I'm going to be here until the day they put me in the ground. I'm going to do whatever I can to help her.
And
even
while you
years or
don't
not.
care what the paper says, when I look into her eyes and I hear her testimony, she admitted, I have fear. I have fear. I
That's
do not
understandable.
want to go through this again.
That's understandable. I can understand. I
Like
know
I
that.
said, I've been hurt my whole life.
I'm not going to hurt you.
You
baby.
wasn't there.
Miss Agee, on one hand, you say, I had my grandmother. She raised me. She gave me all I need. I don't need him for anything. I don't want to be hurt
I didn't have a
again.
dad growing up. I didn't have a mom growing up. I had a grandmother that was my mom.
An amazing
Yes.
grandmother.
Yes.
So on the
Very
one
good.
hand, I
Yep.
hear you say this. On the other hand, I hear you say, I didn't have a father.
Exactly.
And I want my children to have the
I want-
knowledge of who their grandfather is
Yes.
and the love. Both of those things are kind of on opposite sides of a
Exactly.
coin. And I understand that you're conflicted.
Because I
so
want
I
a
have
father.
to ask you, do you want me to read you these results?
I do.
Because I have them.
I do, because I definitely want to know where I came from. I want to know who my dad is. And if he is my dad, I want him to walk me down the aisle when I get married.
And you have prepared yourself either way.
Yes, I have.
Okay.
I'll walk you anywhere you want to go,
Jerome,
Angel.
I'm ready
I'll
for
take
the
care of you.
envelope.
I love you with all my heart. And I know that paper's going to say I'm your daddy.
These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics, and they read as follows.
Lord, please be with us now.
This is Agee, pertaining to 35-year-old Shauna Agee,
Come on.
as to whether Mr. Russell Fritz is her biological father. It has been determined by this court.
I am her
Mr.
daddy.
Fritz, you are her father.